Most people think they are struggling because they are not smart enough, or because they are not lucky enough, or because they don't have the right opportunities. But the real truth is much simpler. Most people are struggling because they are dependent on other people, dependent on motivation, dependent on approval, dependent on circumstances, dependent on hope that something outside of them will change their life. And as long as you are dependent, you will never be in control of your life. Because dependency always creates weakness, and weakness always creates limitation. But there is a different path, a path called self-reliance. Self-reliance is not about being alone, it is not about rejecting people, it is not about isolation. Self-reliance means this: I can handle my life even if no one helps me. That is power, that is freedom, that is control. And in this video, you will understand 5 powerful ways to become truly self-reliant, mentally, emotionally, and financially. One of the biggest lies you have ever been told is that you need motivation to start. That is not true. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel empty, some days you feel like doing everything, some days you feel like doing nothing. If your life depends on motivation, your life will always be unstable. Self-reliant people don't wait for motivation. They understand something powerful. Discipline is greater than emotion. They don't ask, do I feel like doing it? They ask, does this need to be done? And if the answer is yes, they do it anyway. Because action creates momentum. Momentum creates motivation, not the other way around. The truth is simple. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never build anything meaningful. So you start before you feel ready. You start before you feel confident. You start even when your mind says no. Because everything you want is on the other side of action. Most people are trained to depend on others when problems appear. The moment something gets difficult, they look for someone to fix it. The moment something feels confusing, they give up or wait. But self-reliant people think differently. When a problem appears, they don't panic. They pause and ask a simple question: how can I figure this out? This mindset changes everything, because every problem you solve by yourself becomes experience, and every experience becomes strength. If someone always solves your problems, you never grow. But when you struggle, try, fail, learn, and try again, you become stronger in a way nothing else can teach you. Real confidence is not given. It is built through survival. Without income, independence is limited. You may have dreams, you may have ideas, you may have ambition. But without money, you will always depend on someone. That is why skill is everything. Because skill creates value. Value creates money. Money creates options. You don't need 10 skills. You don't need to know everything. You only need one skill, but you need to become great at it. Writing, design, video editing, programming, marketing, sales, communication. Choose one and go deep. Most people stay average because they stay general. Self-reliant people become powerful because they specialize. They master one thing and turn it into income. And when you can earn on your own, no one controls your life anymore. That is freedom. One of the most dangerous forms of dependency is emotional dependency. If your mood depends on people's opinions, you are not free. If your confidence depends on likes, comments, or validation, you are not stable. If your energy depends on how others treat you, you are not strong. Self-reliant people learn emotional control. They don't react instantly. They don't break under pressure. They don't let emotions make decisions. Because emotions are temporary, but decisions have consequences. So they stay calm. They think before reacting, they observe before responding, and they understand something important. You cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. If you cannot control your emotions will control your life. Now comes the most important truth. Most people live by blaming. They blame parents. They blame society. They blame circumstances. They blame luck. They blame everything except themselves. But blame does something dangerous. It removes responsibility. And without responsibility, there is no power. Self-reliant people choose a different mindset. They accept full responsibility for their life. Even when things are unfair, even when they are not at fault, even when life is difficult, they still ask one question: what can I do right now? This is where power begins, because responsibility gives control, and control creates change. Not everything is your fault, but everything is your responsibility. And that mindset changes everything. Self-reliance is not built in one day. It is built through daily decisions. Choosing discipline over comfort, choosing action over delay, choosing responsibility over excuses, choosing growth over fear. Every time you act without depending on someone, you become stronger. Every time you solve something alone, you become more capable. Every time you take responsibility, you become more powerful. And slowly, you stop needing the world to guide you because you learn how to guide yourself. That is self-reliance. That is freedom. That is real power. Start today, not tomorrow, not later. Because the longer you depend, the longer you stay stuck. But the moment you decide to stand on your own, your entire life begins to change.